it's Erica Parker. I'm your queen of real estate, and I'm super excited to be bringing you a new episode of Caffeine and Dreams podcast. Today, we have Misty Hassenstab, who has actually created a program that is really cool. It's for female real estate investors, and I'd love to have her introduce it. I'm going to bring her on, and we'll get into it. All right. Hey, Misty, it's so good to see you. So
Hello.
go ahead and say hi to the audience.
Hi, this is so exciting. I am honored to be a guest and to have this awesome chat with you and to chat to all your listeners. This is so much fun. So thank you so much for having me today.
Thank you. And I know we will get to her mindset matters, but to start, why don't you tell us a little bit? Actually, I just almost forgot. Tell us what caffeine drink you brought today, since it is caffeine and drinks. I've got.
Yes. Okay, there we go. So I just have some pecan coffee in here. So still fueling up, you know, need a little extra this morning. Didn't sleep so good last night. So we got some people in our house. My husband and daughter aren't feeling the best, so it's been a little rough, but caffeine is here to help, right?
Yeah. Well, in this business, sometimes all we do run on is caffeine and drinks.
Sometimes, yes.
So we're just to ask, what's the brand? Did you have a brand?
I think this is just something from like Kroger or something. But I will say I don't like it as much as the pecan coffee, the HEB pecan.
Texas pecan, the cafe one.
That I messed up and bought the one because I was at Kroger and thought it was going to be the same. Not the same at all.
Not the same. I know it smells so good. When I was pregnant, I remember thinking like, oh, all I want is a cup of coffee.
Yeah. I much preferred that over this. So we're getting through this. We're almost done with it, and then we'll get the good stuff from HEB.
Go back to the HEB brand. I love it.
I think
for those that don't know, it's a southern grocery store that is really basically in Texas for the most part, and it started I think in West Texas, but they carry a lot of Texas brands, and Cafe Ole coffee is a must-have.
Oh yeah, for sure.
All right, well, Misty, why don't you give us a little bit about your background and how you got into real estate investing, and then kind of moved into also creating this program for female real estate investors?
Yeah, happy to share. So I have been a full-time investor now for about 6.5 years. It'll be 7 years in November. So we are creeping up on that. I still can't believe it's August. And my husband and I actually moved to Texas to specifically do real estate investing. We left our corporate jobs. We moved to Texas because we knew the market here was strong. And we have been here ever since, and we absolutely love it. We actually started our journey in Austin, and it was fun for a year, but we could not do what we wanted to do, which was build. They made it a little bit difficult to build. And my husband really, his background is in construction, civil engineering. He loves to build things. So we moved to Houston, and we have been building in Houston ever since. And so that's our primary focus now. We've done a little bit of everything: wholesaling, rentals, flips, obviously new construction and development, and that is our primary focus. We're building lots of townhomes, and we're actually getting started in commercial development this year. So that is super, super exciting. Yes. And it's been a crazy journey. That's actually how I met you, was joining a programming community when we first got started, and still being part of that amazing community. And it's really helped us along the way. And that's really why I started Her Mindset Matters REI, was I wanted to start a community and program specifically geared toward female investors. We're different than men. We think different than men. We act, the way that our mind works and how we take action or don't take action is different. And I just felt that I wanted to create a program and almost safe place for women to talk about being a female in this industry, because the investing side is still very male dominated. And, we just learn differently. And so anyway, so I started Her Mindset Matters REI with another woman who is a female investor and coach in July 2020. And then I ended up taking it over a couple years later and have been, well, it has been a couple years now, probably about a year into it. And I've been running it on my own ever since. And we now have over 140 women that have gone through the program, that are part of the community. We're actually launching another program on August 16th that I'm super excited about. So so we're just, any women who are wanting more info, definitely we can share, however that works here, share some contact info. But it's really been an amazing community. The women are learning. They're actually doing deals together. We have 3 of our tribe members. We call ourselves a tribe, doing 3 rehabs right now in Galveston. Wow. And so we're going to do a little bit of a property tour actually at the end of this month to go check out those rehabs and learn more about, the story behind how they found them, how they, decided what they're going to do with them, how they got the money for them, how they're managing. They're actually GCing all 3 of these projects themselves. So it's super, super exciting. So
and for those that don't know what GC is, that means general contracting. So.
Yes. And it can be very intimidating to general contract, and manage your own projects. And so I'm super proud of these ladies. And it's been such an exciting journey to watch all the women that have gone through the program, build their businesses and support each other along the way. And so it's just been, it's been so amazing. And I love every minute of what I do. And even the tough stuff has made me a better person, a better investor, a better coach, a better mentor. And it's just been fun, It's
awesome. So I know that, you have your niche of doing construction, but how did you find this niche of like Her Mindset Matters? Like, was it a personal experience that you were experiencing and you thought, hey, I want to share that with other women? Or is it something that you were hearing from other women that you're like, okay, we really need this? What really drove behind the scenes y'all actually creating it?
A little bit of both, actually. So when my husband and I started real estate investing, we were going to networking events like crazy. We jumped in full time. We were kind of an all or nothing type people. And so we had the time to go network. And at these events, obviously you're meeting people, and I would meet women and they would be kind of quiet in the corner, not really speak up. It was mostly men. And I would go talk to them and, find out that either they were actually very well experienced in real estate investing or they were just getting started, but they never really felt comfortable kind of, really presenting themselves in these, environments, I guess, at these networking events. It could be a little intimidating. So I actually started a women-only real estate investing networking event that was free to anybody, any women who wanted to come once a month. It was our women's REI. And we would have anywhere from 40 to 60 women come. I know you remember coming to those.
I am. I'm still part of the group on Facebook. Anyone that it's a women's REIA or WREIA.
Yep, that's right. Yeah. And so basically these women would come and they'd say, Misty, I want to learn from you. I want to, be mentored by you. And I'm like, well, I probably should put together some sort of a program of some sort, And so I was actually working with a coach at the time, a life and business coach. And she said to me, what do you think about starting a program where I bring the mindset side? Because I was working with her on my mindset struggles. Becoming an entrepreneur is very different than being an employee. And nobody really talks about this transition and how difficult it can be. And you think, oh, I've done well in corporate. We have a construction background. We worked for a general contractor. This will be easier, not easy, but easier for us. Well, I did not even know. How do you know until you're in it? All of the fears that come up, the overwhelm, climbing the corporate ladder is not the same as building a business and managing people and employees and subcontractors and really understanding what you want this business to look and feel like. And so I was working so diligently on my mindset. and it was making such a positive impact that as I was having conversations with women at the women's REIA events, I was like, wow, like they're facing some of the same struggles that I am. So Deidre and I came together and created Her Mindset Matters REI, and I have since really dove deep into mindset through having coaches myself, being part of programs, being part of a mastermind that literally changed my life. And so the importance of mindset, women, we overthink, we overanalyze, we have a harder time taking action than men sometimes because this gets in the way. And so when we can address what's going on up here, it's easier to take action. You can be given all the tools and resources to go start a real estate investing business tomorrow, but that doesn't mean you're going to actually go do it, right? So I talk to women all day, every day. Oh, I've been educating myself on real estate investing for the last year, 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, but they've not actually taken action toward launching their business. Well, why? Well, I don't know enough, or I'm scared that I'm going to mess up, or I'm going to lose money, or the list goes on and on. So in the program, we tackle mindset. And I've recently just launched a Master Your Mindset community and mastermind where we only focus on mindset. So that's open to any female entrepreneurs, not just investors, that want to really dive much deeper into some of the mindset blocks that they have. And so, it's just mindset is everything. I mean, you hear it all the time. It really is everything. But in order to properly work through some of the blocks that are coming up, some of those fears, you have to have tools, resources, and support. And that's really what the Her Mindset Matters REI program and the Master Your Mindset community are all about, providing that for those women.
So tell me a little bit more about the actual program. Are y'all talking about specific topics in each week, or how is it actually structured a little bit? Is it personalized? What can a female real estate investor kind of expect from that actual program?
Absolutely. So it is geared more toward any females that are looking to get started in real estate investing. We build a business from the ground up. And the intention is not just to, again, consume more information, but to actually take action. So we're setting goals. We're determining what your investing strategy should be right now. Do you need to wholesale to build up some capital? Can you go straight to flipping or building a rental portfolio? We really try to understand the current circumstances, and then also what are your end goals? What are the big, beautiful dreams, caffeine and dreams, right, that you have, so that what we're doing short term is leading us to long term. Yeah. And then we build a business plan. We're putting things in place. We're putting a team in place if you want to go that route. A lot of the women are starting on their own, and we're putting systems in place to help them with that. We're providing scripts and templates for their marketing. Misty, I don't know what to say to people when I call them and try to find out, if they want to sell their home or if they're facing foreclosure, and how to have that difficult conversation, which I have a lot of experience in. A lot of the women join for that specific knowledge and experience that I offer through the program of door knocking and cold calling, people facing foreclosure for years. So I share basically everything that I've done in my business, templates, scripts, deal analysis, spreadsheets, all of that in regards to real estate investing, how to analyze deals, how to run comps, how to, assess a rehab estimate to know how much, money it's going to cost for you to rehab this home. And the list goes on, real estate, but each week we're also tackling a mindset, or a block that you might have, how to build confidence in running comps, how to create your CEO mindset so that you're looking at things more logically versus emotionally. You never want to purchase a property because, oh, Misty, I have to have this deal. I have to have my first deal. No. What are the numbers telling you? Let's look at this logically, not emotionally. So it's really just teaching them, the basics of it, but then also creating the proper mindset to do it to take action and do it with confidence and create the long-term success. So each week that we're doing something, so for example, week 3, we talk about marketing campaigns. There's a million different marketing campaigns out there, right? Yeah. You can cold call, you can door knock, you can send mailers, you can go create a website, you could do Craigslist ads, Facebook ads, SEO. I mean, the list goes on and on. So we help the women decide what makes sense for them based on how much time they have, how much money they want to spend, what kind of deals they're looking for, or properties they're looking for. And then their job is to go actually launch that marketing campaign. They've been given all the tools, but they have to go take action. So then when they do, they come back to our weekly sessions and go, oh, Misty, I called 123 Main Street and talked to Bob, and he's interested in selling. You know, can you help me run numbers? Can you help me understand, you know, what comes next? And so that's what that support there is for, to do some hand holding and make sure that they have support every step of the way, because it's a little nerve wracking every step of the way, right? You don't want to pick up the phone.
And I think one of the things that we run into in real estate investing and marketing specifically is this shiny object syndrome and stuff, and just real estate investing on strategies. And one of the things that you said, I just want to pinpoint, because I remember us having this conversation like 5 years ago when we both joined that other program, is that you have to identify what your business plan and your goals are and make sure that you're trying to get to those goals. Because I remember you saying at one point that y'all had written it down that y'all wanted to get to building and doing new construction, and that y'all were trying to do all these other strategies before that because y'all felt like y'all needed to, when in reality, someone just all of a sudden asked you, well, why aren't you doing that now if that is your goal?
Yeah.
And you're like, well, I don't know. I thought I needed more experience with other stuff. And I remember us having that conversation. So maybe tell people more about that.
Yeah. And I literally just had that conversation with a woman yesterday. And she said, well, my end goal is to build a rental portfolio to bring in passive income. But I want to flip a property. And I was like, okay, can you tell me why you want to flip a property? Well, I just think it would bring experience that I think I need, right, to build a rental portfolio. And it's like, we think that we need to do residential before we go into commercial investing. We think we need to flip a property before we build a rental portfolio or get, do new construction. No, like that, not necessarily the case. Now, every person is different, right? But a lot of times we're told, okay, do these things in order to get to here. But it's really understanding your current circumstances and your goals, not doing what everybody else is doing just because that's what everybody else is doing. And so, we flipped and we were like, not really our thing, right? We want to build more, have more of a rental portfolio, but actually instead of going and acquiring rentals, we want to build rentals. Like we're building a 10 unit right now that we could sell it or we could hold it and keep all of those as rentals, right? So, we started paying more attention to what actually lights us up and what we want to be doing. And building a new construction and development is absolutely it. So we don't flip properties anymore. I'm not out trying to find us rentals. We're just building, building and selling and building and holding, or whatever we're going to do with it. So it's people do think they have to, do this to gain. It's like, no, let's talk about, that's one of my first questions is what's the end goal? Because we want to make sure the things that we're doing now is leading you to that end goal. And it doesn't have to be, I have to flip a property to know how to build a rental portfolio. They're not the same thing. So if you don't really want to flip, if you want to flip, cool. But if you don't really, if you think it's just to give you more experience, but what kind of experience? If it's different than a rental portfolio, build it, So absolutely. It's a lot of people, and then they get lost. And then they also are like, oh, I'm not really enjoying this. Well, yeah, because you're not really doing what you wanted to do. Like we didn't enjoy flipping properties, so we stopped doing it. We didn't. And we thought, oh, we have to flip before we can build. And that is not the case. Building is different than flipping. So, we did what we did, and it's fine. And we made some money flipping properties, but we also, it was a good exercise for us to know that is not where we want to spend our time and energy too. Right.
Yeah.
So
And
just
that's a part of the thing is learning from other people's mistakes in this type of environment
absolutely.
and program is the sharing aspect of it for sure, I would say.
Yes. Yes. And I share everything. I'm an open book. I will tell you what we've done right, what we've done wrong, marketing campaigns that have worked for us, those that have not. You can still go do what you want to. It's your business. But
Mhm.
I am all about sharing and helping these women, cut their learning curve by being
Mhm.
a part of this program in this community. So, yeah.
And just a quick question on, we talked about, you said something about the marketing and like figuring out that, but even on the other side of it, having confidence to go and talk to private lenders, because I know that y'all have a partner that y'all use quite often in some of y'all's things, and they're kind of a private lender. So having that confidence to go and talk to lenders so that you can build a rental portfolio and you don't always have to just do a wholesaling deal every time to
Right.
try and get some money.
Yep, absolutely. And that's what I love about being part of a community like that is
Mm.
you are immersed into a community of women that want to partner, that want to lend, that want to do this together.
Mhm.
So you're exactly right. You don't have to wholesale. And that was the conversation I had with the woman yesterday. She tried wholesaling and she didn't care for it. And I said, okay, well, you don't have to. Like, there are
Mhm.
ways to get into deals even with little to no money. Most
Mhm.
of the new construction deals that we're doing, our own money is not in it. We have equity,
Mhm.
we have sweat equity. We're the ones in charge of everything, but our
Mhm.
own money is not actually in the deals. We have investors that come in and invest there. A lot of times IRAs, and
Mhm.
they just are passively investing. And
Yeah.
so there's this misconception that you need to have all this money before you get into real estate investing. And that is just simply not true. You don't need to have all the money if you are going about it the right way and building your relationships or purchasing properties utilizing creative financing.
Mhm.
There's so many ways to get into real estate investing. And again, it can be very overwhelming, but understanding your current circumstances and your goals, then we can structure a plan that then you can go implement. And
Mhm.
we can tweak that plan whenever we need to. It doesn't have to be set in stone. Things are going to change. Your circumstances are going to change. The market is going to shift,
Yeah.
right? So then we can make the necessary changes so that you are building a real estate investing business that's set up for long-term success and not that's going to plummet if the market takes a shift or something like
Mhm.
that. So
Or like the market being crazy the last couple of years, I feel like a
right,
lot of investors went to the sideline because their current strategy wasn't working when they could
right.
have probably looked at other strategies or other things they could have done to still, make money in the investing world.
Absolutely.
So tell me a little bit, like, what's one thing that surprised you about the starting this business? Was there something that just kind of stands out to you on being kind of a surprise and actually starting either this business for Her Mindset Matters or maybe even your business on the real estate investing side? But specifically, I'd like to understand if there was anything surprising on the Her Mindset Matters first.
I don't know if there was anything super surprising about that other than the amount of women that were looking for that kind of support.
Mm-hmm.
Um, there are many programs out there,
Mm-hmm.
and it's 100% up to you to determine what program is good for you, what type of coach or mentor is good for you. If you want
Mm-hmm.
more of a one-on-one setting, which I also do that as well, because there's some women that have been through group coaching and they wanted more of a one-on-one. Let's
Mm-hmm.
dive specifically into my business. I don't want to do another group type setting, and I'm like, cool.
Mm-hmm.
So I do one-on-one as well. I have one-on-one client I've worked with for over 2 years now.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's that, and then just having that safety or just community where you feel like you can share a lot of what is going through your head as a female investor, as a mom or a wife trying to juggle all of these things at once. It can be overwhelming. And so I just feel so grateful that I received the support that I needed and then was able to create a community and platform and program for others, right? I guess I just didn't realize how the need for something like that. And I'm seeing more programs that are geared towards women in communities in real estate and real estate investing that are geared towards women. And I'm loving it. Like I'm so excited because my program isn't right for everybody, and that's okay. And, or being a part, a lot of the women in our tribe are parts of other programs and communities, and they're benefiting from being a part of, just like you and I are part of Big Dog. And like, you know what I mean? Like we're part of a variety, and it helps us grow as people and our businesses grow. So other than that, there wasn't too much that caught me off guard with the coaching. Now with the real estate investing, I will say, you think it's going to be easier than it is. You just do. You watch the HGTV, you watch Chip and Joanna, you watch, and it's very glamorized.
Or if you get pulled into one of the, the people that are selling programs, a lot of times they glamorize it too, on the most part. So
absolutely. They make it seem like literally overnight you're going to become a multi-million-dollar real estate investor. And that's not how it happens. Like we're just going to talk openly and honestly.
Yeah, true.
I think the amount, and I'm a very hard worker. Like I, left small town Nebraska, moved to Los Angeles, first in my family to graduate from college, first in my family to start a business. Like I am not afraid of hard work, but I think the length of time and learning curve that is required to really just understand this business, and also how you want to create your own business, how you want to be in this industry, takes time. And we don't account for that time. And actually, one of the coaches in our community that we're a part of, Erica, Brent Mott, he said to me one time, he goes, "It blows my mind how people will be so accepting of going to college for 4, 5, 6 years. And then they, become a real estate investor, and 2 months in, they're like, this doesn't work. This isn't working, right? Like they'll give years to get educated on getting a degree or some sort of industry that they want to go into. And then they'll get an entry-level position, and that's normal, and they'll work their way up. And then they join a program to get into real estate investing. And within a month or two, they're like ready to quit because it's not happened yet. You have to allow yourself time to learn, to grow into a real estate investor, to understand what that looks like, to grow into an entrepreneur, to try the different marketing campaigns and investing strategies and figure out what works for you and what doesn't. I did not, and I think my husband can say the same. We did not realize the amount of time and just patience that, going into it, that was required. And so that is something that I very much communicate very openly and honestly. And if women come to me and said, "Hey, Misty, I just want to get rich quick," they're not for my program. They're not like, okay.
They're not building a lifetime business, or at least a legacy at that point.
So, and that's fine, but it's, I think there is a big misconception about what actually goes into making this a successful long-term business, where somebody can leave their W-2, leave their job, do this full time. And it's scary. It's still scary from time to time. You know what I mean? Going from having a normal paycheck every couple of weeks or whatever. So, we still face these things. Obviously, I'm much more used to it now. And, we're in a much different place, almost 7 years later. But that was probably the biggest shock of the learning curve of jumping into a whole nother industry, being an entrepreneur, and just allowing yourself the grace and patience to navigate that, and really just understand it to its core, and, continue to navigate it too, right? As we grow, our things change in our lives and our businesses, and that's okay. That's a good thing. but it can be scary from time to time, you know? So, but
Do
yeah,
you
that
have
was
a piece
definitely
of
the
advice for any young person or young female real estate investor, or just even young person that you would like to give them as an entrepreneur or as a female real estate investor, or any of those things? Do you have a piece of advice you would like to give to any young professional out there or young person out there?
I mean, I think the best advice that I can give is, one, it's absolutely possible, right? Anybody can do this. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but two, the most important thing of really making this successful is understanding your why. And we dive really deep into this at the beginning of the Her Mindset Matters REI 8-week program, because understanding what your why is beyond, I want to make money, right? Yes, you want to make money. Anybody who starts a business, you have to make money for it to continue, right? But
Yeah.
why? You know, and one of the things you can do is do the 7 levels deep of why. Ask yourself, you know, why do you want to make money? Well, I want to leave my job. Why? I want to spend more time with my family. Why? You know, and keep going down that, because when you are very intentional about why you're doing what you're doing, and one of the things that I love now that my coach has helped me realize is being on purpose over profit, then the way you wake up and show up to your business every single day is so much different, and it feels so much better. And then the profit just comes. If you go into this just purely focused on making money, you can do it, I suppose. But for me, it didn't feel good. For me, I wanted a purpose. I wanted to help people. I wanted more than just making money. So I struggled when that was just the end goal or the reason behind. It was like, why? Because I wanted a life of flexibility and freedom. I wanted to be more present, you know, with when I had a child, and now I have a daughter that I, you know, can keep home with me if I want to, you know, from day to day or whatever it is. Like, I wanted that, and I wanted to help people in a powerful way. And so when you really understand the why behind what, you know, this business that you're wanting to build, it makes the doing and the taking action and the patience that you need for it to actually come to, you know, fruition a lot like easier, right? But if you're just focused on the money all the time, it becomes so hard to make the money. It's so wild. It for me anyways, that's how it was. And I'm finding for a majority of women, we're not fueled by money. We're fueled by service. We're fueled by helping others. We're fueled by our families. You know, that is what pushes us. And so really using that instead of just making money, you know, has helped these women really like understand the why behind their businesses. And then guess what? They go take action. They feel good about it. They feel confident about it, and the money comes, right? So that would be
You know,
my
one of the things you mentioned in that, and what I find is a lot of successful real estate investors or just successful entrepreneurs have is a coach.
Yes.
So like you still, even running your own coaching business, still have your own coach to help you with building it, with help you with any roadblocks you might end up in, or just to help you expand as you see. So I love that you still have a coach as well personally, so that you can continue to grow as well.
And I will always have a coach. Always, 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 always. I went for probably about, 9 or 10 months without one. I left a mastermind that I was part of. I just had outgrown it. It was wonderful. I was there for 9 months and I'd outgrown it. And then I ended up having my first child, and I struggled with obviously becoming a first-time mom and wanting to juggle being a mom, continuing to build my businesses. And I will never go without having a coach. You need that support, that place to just talk through everything that you're feeling and experiencing. And as you grow, you know, the way that you look at life and business and all that's going to change. And sometimes it's hard to process on your own. And also somebody to hold you accountable, somebody to call you out, somebody to challenge you, you know? And so absolutely, that's one thing. I will always have a coach or be a part of a community where I am challenged and where I have a place to go and share and work through some of the stuff that's coming up. So, and it makes me a better coach. It makes me a better mom. It makes me a better business owner and investor and entrepreneur, a better wife, a better friend, a better daughter. I just feel like all around I'm a better person and I'm way more on purpose than I've ever been. And I know myself a lot better now. And that helps me make decisions in my businesses with confidence. And that is huge. That is huge. So with all the shiny objects, it's very hard to stay focused, and you can't say yes to everything, and you shouldn't say yes to everything, or you're going to jump all over the place and you're going to go, why am I in the same spot 3 years later? Because you jumped all over. You got to know yourself and know your why and know your goals and have a plan and stick to it, So.
And I think coaches help with that. I have my own coach, and he often is, I, for the longest time, said I wanted to start this podcast, and I kept saying, I want to do this. And he was like, then do it. It's one of those things that you're like, okay, yeah, you know what? I needed that kick in the butt. Instead of I want to try, say I will. And it's just that little mindset shift that took me a lot of times. I said, I'm going to try. I'm going to try and do this. I want to try and do this. And he was like, you need to stop saying, I want to try, and start saying, I will do it, because it's just a mindset thing that you have. You have all this stuff on your list and you just say, I want to try it, but you never do. Then it's not going to help you build that business, and it's not going to help you get to that next level. And so that accountability helps, and having that person that notices that you're saying that kind of stuff to yourself in your mind, or just even verbally, and you don't realize it even.
Yep, absolutely. And the mind is a powerful thing. And what our mind is telling us, that's what, why we take action or don't take action. And your brain, the way it's programmed, is supposed to protect you. So when you're about to embark on something brand new, your brain's going to go, no. What are you doing? You don't know about that. Let's just stay in your lane. Let's do what's safe. Let's, because that's, caveman days, like we needed that. We needed our brain to protect us. We don't need that anymore. And so we have to reprogram by changing little things like that, instead of I'm going to try, to know I will, or I am doing this, because that is rewiring your brain. That is taking control and telling your brain, I hear you, but I'm doing it anyways. And then it shows your brain, oh, okay, she can do this. She's good. She's safe. Right. And so the more that we do that, then we reprogram and rewire our brain to start looking for opportunities, instead of looking for ways that, could harm us, or, to protect us. And so it's crazy. The more I learn about the brain, how it kind of holds us back, unless you're very proactive in changing your way of thinking.
And I think that also ties into like positive affirmations and stuff like that, because I just recently I read a book called Ninja Selling, and one of the things they recommend is if you have a specific affirmation you want to focus on, or something that you want to focus on, like say I want to lose weight or something like that, then say I'm telling myself I want to lose weight, then start writing it down 25 times a day. I enjoy being X weight, whatever your target weight is, and just saying, I enjoy being X weight. Or I enjoy making X amount of money per month and being financially free. And writing that out 25 times starts to change your mindset, so that when you get up and you're sitting there trying to make your calls, it's going to start saying, well, a person that makes X amount per month is not going to put this off. They're going to actually do it now. They're not going to go to lunch and spend a 3-hour lunch. So it's almost that your brain has taken that in, and you've changed up your mindset to where now your brain's telling you, hey, you make this amount of money per month. You can't go and do this. You need to make your calls. And so, so I know as a realtor, as a real estate investor, we run into a lot of that and trying to procrastinate and stuff. So I definitely think that mindset and those little tricks like that can definitely be helpful. So I definitely think in the mindset whether it's hers or his, in that sense, I think affirmations work really well.
Oh, sure.
So what about your ideal client? Who would you say is your ideal client for her mindset matters? Are y'all specifically in Houston only, or the Houston area, or do y'all do more statewide or nationwide? How is that structured? Is it in-person meetings, all of that kind of thing?
Yeah, great question. So we have tribe members from all over the United States. So we have a lot of members that are here in Texas because that's where I'm located. I've met a lot of them in person or through, Facebook, Texas real estate investing groups or whatever. But we are virtual. It is an online program. And so really any woman that is looking to either start real estate investing or grow their real estate investing business. We do have tribe members that came into the program and went through the program that were experienced, and they really focused on refining their systems to scale their business, and more importantly, on their mindset. They had launched their businesses and found that they were stuck. They'd done some deals, but they were a little stuck mindset wise. It was time to level up and they needed some support. So we've definitely had women that are more experienced go through the program as well. So either one, majority are newer to real estate investing, never done a deal. And really you just have to be open and willing to, dive in, to take action, to, not just consume the information, but actually then go implement the information. And so it's really just, as long as you're open to those things, then you're typically a good fit for the program. I jump on what's called discovery calls with all the women that are interested in joining to make sure that they are a good fit for the program. So that, I'm very protective of this community of, over 140 women. And I want to make sure we're bringing in women that are like-minded and never had to kick anybody out, and hopefully never will. And, so it's really just, you have to be open and willing and ready to dive in and take action. And most of these women are at that place where they're tired of just like thinking about it or learning about it and reading books and, passive, really passively taking action. We want to do massive action taking, which is where you actually go and do. So that's a big component. And those that do, we've had women find their first deals within weeks of joining the program. So there is something to taking action, obviously, but behind that, having the support then where they're like, go door knock, and they're like, hey, Misty, somebody said yes, can you help me here? And we walk them through and make sure that they're, prepared for the appointment. They know how to run their comps. They know how to assess, is this a good flip? Is this a good rental? How to talk to the seller, negotiate, fill out all the contracts, take it to the closing table. If they're assigning it over to an end buyer, how to do that. Like, we're there every step of the way. And having that makes a world of a difference in you feeling confident about taking action. Because the biggest thing I hear is, well, I don't know what I don't know. So what if they ask me a question I don't have the answer to? Or what if I don't know how to fill out this contract? Or what if I don't know how to assess the rehab estimate or whatever it is, right? So I get that. That was the reason Jason and I joined, Big Dog, was because we wanted that community. We wanted those resources. We wanted that education. So that's the biggest thing. So those women that take action, they find deals fairly quickly. It is absolutely possible. So it's really open to any women across the United States that are ready to join a tribe and community and take action towards building their real estate investing business.
Awesome. So what are kind of your goals for Her Mindset Matters REI in the next 12 months or in the future? Is your goal for this program?
Yeah, I mean, it's just to continue building the community, to constantly improve the program. After every 8-week program, I ask for feedback from our tribe members, and I ask for honest feedback because I want to know what worked for you, what didn't work for you, what I could do better, what, program resources we need to add, whatever that is. So I just want to, constantly improve it, and put it out there, for more people to see and experience or join if it's the right fit for them, and that's the key thing, is finding the right community and program and coach and mentor for you, because when you do, it makes a world of a difference in how you implement and the success and all of that. I've been part of programs where I loved the coaches, and I've been part of some where I didn't. And I still benefited from the ones that I didn't, but I definitely benefited more from the coaches and mentors that I felt very connected to and very aligned with. And I'm not for everybody, and that's okay, right? And so, I've had people say no to me. I've said no to them. And I actually love that, because I don't just want to accept everybody, and you shouldn't just pay for any program that's thrown in front of you. You should be selective in what kind of communities you're joining, and coaches and mentors that are guiding you, because depending on how you want to grow your business, like, you want to be aligned with people that are growing a similar business and doing it from a place that you feel comfortable yourself, so I mean, I'm just excited to continue growing it and tweaking it and making it better, every time that we're about to bring in another group of 20 women, because we only have up to 20 women that go through the program at one time. So I keep it small and intimate, because I've been part of bigger programs and you kind of feel lost in the background, a number on Zoom, and this is a very intimate program. The last group, we actually only had 10 women. So it's not, I just fill 20 spots to fill 20 spots. Like, we are selective in who we have join our community and our program. And so it's just making it really better and bringing more to, some of the things I'm really excited about is doing more events and workshops and master classes for our community members that have already gone through the program. So bringing in
that's actually going to be my next question, is those that have been through the program, how is that support still there, or if there are things that you provide for them?
Yes, absolutely. And so we have a private Facebook group that you remain a part of for as long as you want to. You have access to all of the program resources for as long as you want to. And then we just had like an amazing masterclass where we had an investor and architect and coach come in and talk through a program that she just launched, where she teaches women how to design their own spaces. So they can design it themselves. They can GC or general contract it themselves. And she gives you all of these amazing tools and resources. So she came and taught a masterclass to our tribe members. So it was a members only event. And I want to bring in more of that. I would love to host a retreat at some point for our tribe members somewhere. A long weekend retreat. We're doing a property tour that's members only at the end of August. So these sorts of things to help grow, continue to grow them and support them as they, grow into more experienced investors and entrepreneurs. So that is a big focus of mine. I've already been asked to do kind of like a Her Mindset Matters REI 2.0, to see if those that want to continue on education and support. So that's kind of rattling around in my brain to see what I'm going to do there. So I don't know, but I am excited to provide more support beyond just kind of the 8-week program for the community members that have already gone through it, for sure, to grow that.
And one question I'd love to ask anyone that I interview on this podcast is, a lot of times we read books or we listen to podcasts that we feel help us either in our mindset or in developing certain skills that we need. And most entrepreneurs need to have that insatiable appetite for that. So what is a book or a podcast that you would recommend for those female REI people out there that might be watching?
So, I have so many. I
Well,
love,
maybe give me like your top like 3.
okay, I love when every morning when I'm getting ready, I'm listening to either a podcast or an Audible. I just love starting my day that way.
Mhm.
Um, and so one of the books that I recently, my coach had me listen to was The Power of Vulnerability by Brene
Mhm.
Brown. And that was amazing. And I'm inviting is I don't assign for our Master Your Mindset community members. It's completely voluntary in what they do, but I invited them to also listen to it. And we already have had some of our community members. We're only 3 weeks into this community, and we have one of our members that's listened to this like 3 times already. Like, she loves it. And she had her husband listen to it. It really shows you how to be vulnerable. I think a lot of times in this industry as women, we feel like we have to put on this front and we have to, just not be ourselves, or we're going to be taken advantage of. And that does happen a lot. And so learning to step into your power and also be vulnerable, but feel confident in that, it
Mhm.
takes work and it's not easy. And what I've found is actually being vulnerable and sharing more
Mhm.
helps others relate to you. And especially if you're talking to sellers that are going through a difficult time, like facing a foreclosure, or maybe going
Mhm.
through, they just lost a loved one, going through probate, those sorts of things, being vulnerable, they can relate to you and they're going to want to work with you over somebody else just showing up on their door and saying, you're going to get kicked out. You got to sell me your house now. This is my offer. Take it or leave it. Who's going to respond well to that? Right. So
Mhm.
as females, we're emotional beings, and we want to make sure that that is utilized in our businesses to an advantage, that it's
Mhm.
not getting the best of us.
Yeah.
And so I really loved that. And then the kind of the opposite end of that, I haven't listened to it in a while, but I want to listen to it again, is You Are a Badass by Jen Sincero. I
Mhm.
love that book. I just think it's
Okay.
such a cool book. And so it, again, teaches you how to step into your power, but in your own way.
Uh-huh.
And then one of my favorite podcasts right now is called The Good Life, by
Okay.
Brian Buffini. He's actually an Irish immigrant that he came over to the US with, like, I think he said like $92 in his pocket or whatever. And he has
Mhm.
built an empire as an agent,
Mhm.
and as a coach.
Okay.
And the way he looks at life, and how I just really appreciate the vulnerability and the authenticity and just everything that he shares in regards to personal and professional growth and development. So that's when I was just listening to before actually we jumped on
Uh-huh.
together. And it was talking about how your struggle is actually a good thing, and it teaches you so much instead of allowing it to tear you down. When we struggle through things, we learn from them more,
Mhm.
so way more than if something is handed to us, right?
Oh,
So
absolutely.
yeah, I love that podcast. That's a great one. So those are my 3 for right now. I could
Awesome.
go on
No,
and on.
those are great. I'm like I'm gonna write them down and I'll put them at the bottom, guys, in the description. If you want to follow any of those or read any of those, I'll put them in the description below so that you have them. Now, Misty, I know we need to kind of probably wrap this up, but why don't you tell them how they can get in contact with you? And also, is your pricing on for the program on your website, or is that something that they need to contact you directly about the
No, it
program?
is on the website. And
Okay.
one thing that I actually am working on changing is, I do have it as like a one-time fee, but I've structured many payment plan options
Okay.
for people. So if you're
Mhm.
looking at it and you're like, oh my gosh, I have to be part of this, but I cannot make the payment in full, please
Mhm.
reach out to me. Hopefully I'll get that updated very soon. I'm still learning how to use my new website in Kajabi. I'm not great at
Yeah.
technology. So
Yeah.
I'm giving myself grace and patience as I figure this out. But
Yeah.
that's one thing of importance to share, is that if you really feel like working with me in some capacity is something that would benefit you, let's chat about the financial side of it. I never want
Mhm.
that to be what holds people back. I have worked with many people in a variety of ways, because if you feel that we're a good fit and I feel we're a good fit, let's make it happen. Let's not let that, hold you back. And so, but yes, everything is listed on the website in regards to outline of the program, cost of the program. There's testimonials. I definitely encourage you to look at information about myself. So take a look at that. And then I do have an option where you can book a discovery call with me. So if you're still curious and want more info, or want to ask some questions to make sure it's a good fit for you, I totally get it. Let's chat. Let's jump on a Zoom and chat through it and really make sure that it is a good fit. And if so, then we can move forward with having you join our tribe.
Awesome. And what is that website, just so that they know?
Yeah. So that website is www.hermindsetmattersrei.com.
Perfect. And I will drop it in the description below as well if y'all are interested, so y'all can just click. But I just want to say thank you so much for joining us and talking about this, because it's something that not a lot of people address in definitely the female community, and how we let our mindset kind of sometimes weigh us down. So I really, truly appreciate how that you've developed this program and how much thought you've put into it. And I just want to say thank you so much for joining us. And for everyone that's out there, if you did like this, give it a big thumbs up so that others will see it. And I just want to say thank you all for joining us as well. I'll talk to y'all soon. Bye for now.
Thank you.